Let's talk about Gojo's ability to make people laugh and how aware he is of his own vulnerabilities. Spoilers for up to chapter 268. Now, Gojo speaks very confidently, and usually it's because he's trying to make other people feel safe. When he says that he's going to win, there's two things going on. He wants everyone to believe in him, he wants them to know that he is going to be able to protect them, and he wants to believe it himself because he knows that that's kind of mentality you need when going into a battle. That's the winner's mindset. We see Toto talking about that earlier, and it's what separates him and Yuta. But we also see instances where Gojo knows his own vulnerability. When he spoke to Yuta back in the Shibuya arc, we see that flashback where he's telling Yuta that he needs him to do some things if something happens to him. And Yuta doesn't even believe that anything could take down Gojo, but Gojo knows better. And so when we cut to this scene in 268, it's so heartwarming and a bit sad as well, because while yes, we saw that hallway scene where Gojo's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want with my body because, hey, I'm not gonna lose. What does that mean to me? He still wrote out letters for them just in case something bad happened to them. And not just that, for the two letters that we see, they pertain to their parentage, to the family members that these people have, because he wants them to have closure. And we know with Itadori that he had a conversation with him. So Gojo, in his last means of communicating with his students, wants them to know about their families. And we can kind of overlook how lovely this is because Gojo's being very playful and cutesy in his letter, even with his cute little drawing in the corner. But still, it's a nice way to bookend their relationship, right? When he met Megumi, he told him, hey, if you ever want to know what happened to your dad, just ask. And he wanted him to know. And so he eventually did tell him in a letter. And so it's like reflecting that first meeting, and now it's their last time communicating in a way. Part of me does want to see that flashback to see when Itadori and Gojo had that conversation, because again, we can assume that it was about his family. But Gege could also just be very gentle, very vague, like Gege loves to do, and just allow us to make that correlation ourselves. Also, I'm reminded of how happy Gojo was when he found out that him and Yuta were related, so he loves doing that bit of snooping about families. Also tying into Volume 0, we see Gojo getting a smile out of a rather gloomy character. Megumi's been through the ringer, and this big smile and this laugh is him releasing all of this pent-up stress and feeling, I think, a lot of emotions around Gojo himself. And Gojo was able to get a smile out of both Megumi and Geto in his last times communicating with them, and that's beautiful. No wonder him as a comedian makes so much sense, because he really does love to bring out smiles and laughter.